All the way up in the belfry, hidden behind ringing bells, a girl draped in blue searches endlessly for her brother, even though he's right there on the character select. This is Hotaru Futaba, a character introduced in Garo Mark of the Wolves. Hotaru is a character I like quite a lot, being the first one I tried when I actually gave Mark of the Wolves an honest try. I wouldn't put her in my top 5, but she's definitely up there. Depending on how loose your definition of the term Shoto is, Hotaru may fit right in as a character with a fireball and an uppercut. Fireball zoning isn't really that strong in Garo due to the existence of Just Defend. If you try to throw fireballs at full screen all day, anyone who knows how to play the game is just going to JD them effortlessly and gain health and meter while you pretty much gain nothing. It's typically used as a combo or a block string ender just to gain some space. Her DP, well, it's not terrible, but it doesn't have that much invincibility, which means it'll often trade with jump-ins, and people jump a lot in this game, so if you're trying to DP anti-air, you might go mad from all the trading. I know I did. What warrants more concern is that Just Defend works in the air too, so it's very possible for people to JD or DP and punish you. It's a pretty consistent JD, and Hotaru pays a heavy price if the opponent successfully does it. Thankfully, Hotaru does have an air throw, which is a good way to catch people trying to JD or anti-air or air-to-air attempts. Hotaru typically tends to be put in the middle of the pack in tier lists. She's not bad, and it varies from player to player, with some people putting her higher or lower. She's got some strong tools that let her play the game really well, but also some really glaring flaws that leave her far outclassed by other better characters. That said, I think she's an absolute blast to play in many ways. Hotaru is really good at running away. Armed with a backdash that travels a long distance and is fully invul, Hotaru's runaway is extremely good. Mix in fireballs and some of her strong normals and you can annoy the hell out of people with how slippery you can be. Speaking on her normal, she has really good jump-ins, with JD in particular being pretty cursed. Her air-to-air game is strong, and as mentioned before, she has an air throw, which is a really nice thing to have. On the ground, she boasts a fantastic poke with 2C, which is my favorite normal of hers. It's a very fast poke, coming out on frame 5, and it's special cancelable, allowing for a confirm into a knockdown on hit, or a cancel into a fireball on block. Love this button. Hotaru also has a really good super 236-236B/D. It's got a good upward angle for anti-airing, and both versions of the super have 0 frame startup, meaning you have to be holding back before the super flash to actually be able to block it. This is really good for messing with JD timings, so feel free to mix this in with air grabs and air-to-airs to punish people who are jumping in on you. Also, the J2B. I love this stupid fucking move. On hit or block, it'll bounce Hotaru upward, and she can perform actions afterward, which allows for some really funny corner bullying if the opponent doesn't know how to deal with it. It's so silly, just like her. I'm a big fan of the command grab too. She actually has some pretty solid matchups even against the top tiers. Kain in particular she can fight very well. She has a projectile reflector that, while slow, can be used to mess with his fireball game, and Hotaru having a fireball of her own means she can match Kain's zoning. Her keep away can be pretty annoying for Kain to deal with, since chasing Hotaru requires Kain to give up his own down charge and lose access to his flash kick, which is his most important move. Her reflector also dissipates Kain's orb super on contact, which is hilarious by the way. Obviously, Kain is still Kain, so he can still do Kain things with his break and guard crush setups, but in my experience, as someone who plays both Hotaru and Bijane, I much prefer fighting him with Hotaru. Anyway, in spite of her strengths, there's definitely some evident issues that hold her back. A big one is her rather limited damage potential, especially off lights. Her fastest low starter, 2B, is not special cancelable, and the advantage on hit is pathetic, so it's the opposite of rewarding to land this, which kinda sucks because it makes her Oki a lot less threatening. It is possible to link into her other light normals if you hit this button meaty, but the timing is a bit awkward in my experience. She actually has really good damage potential based on the starter and how much meter she has, but these can be conditional to certain situations, like punishes. Also, she has low defense and gets guard crushed easily, so her survivability is really bad. I'm also not a huge fan of her break. Every character in Mark of the Wolves has at least one special they can interrupt the animation of, allowing for combo extensions. Hotaru's break is her reflector, which grants access to juggle combos after the launch when broken. It's also very plus on block when broken, but there's so much damn pushback you don't really get much chance to take advantage of this. It's not bad, but put up against other breaks like Butt or God forbid Kain's, I feel like it doesn't often contribute to my game plan with Hotaru. Also, her throw side switches on hit, which is really annoying. If you land a forward throw, unless your opponent is at the very edge of the screen, you'll put yourself in the corner. Having a command grab admittedly makes this a little less irritating, but it's still just a pain to deal with. Hotaru feels like a character that's built to play this game quite well, given she's strong in the air and has good defensive tools, but I find that the biggest issues that crop up keep her from being able to run an effective offense, which is definitely her biggest issue in my opinion. It's just a little hard to stand out as anything more than okay when you're in the same game as Kevin and Bijane. Even though I play the latter, I find that the more I play Garo, I gravitate more towards Hotaru, even though Janae is theoretically more my speed. I can't even really describe in detail why, I just have so much more fun playing her. Maybe it has something to do with her simple and flexible kit, but she's just a blast. That said, I was quite excited about playing her in City of the Wolves. Believe me, I was crestfallen when I went to EVO and found out she wasn't in the playable demo offered at the venue. You can probably hear it in my voice, but that only made me even more excited for the game's release. The open betas helped a bit, but with the game finally out, I can definitely say that I approve of how they handled Hotaru. Hotaru in City of the Wolves is as perfect of a modern version of this character as I could have asked for. She feels so faithful to the original and fun in many of the same ways, while also improving on her and adapting her to the new systems. Moveset wise, she didn't receive anything new in terms of specials. She still has the fireball and DP, the spinny punches, the command grab, the reflect, and the dive kick, but there are some pivotal changes here. First off, I have to bring this up, her command grab has a new input. It was a half circle in Mark of the Wolves, and in City of the Wolves, it's a regular quarter circle. As someone who sucks at doing half circles, this is an appreciable change. Moving on to shit that actually affects her game plan though, the first big one is 2B now chaining into her other lights. My girl finally has real light confirms off a low starter! This goes a long way in making Hotaru's offense feel so much better. The fact that one of her main layers of her mix-up after a knockdown leads to good reward makes me so damn happy, and it complements her normal grab, command grab, hot pressure, and the universal overhead well. This may seem a little trivial in the grand scheme of things, especially since everyone else can do this, but it's definitely a big deal for Hotaru and a huge improvement over what she had before. The other change was to her breaks, and this is where things get good. In the prior game, Hotaru could break her reflector, but this is no longer true in City of the Wolves, although the heavy version is plus on block. With every character now having 2 breakable specials, Hotaru can now break the spinny punches, which is fine, and more importantly, her DP. She has DP break! Now don't get it twisted, this is nothing like Kain in Mark of the Wolves, no plus on block invincible launching reversal, but damn man, this is a dream come true. The heavy DP can be broken, allowing for a juggle on hit, which gives her really good damage off those aforementioned light confirms. On top of that, the DP break works as a very consistent anti-air that is much safer against buffered air JDs than the regular DP. It's pretty consistent and it's rewarding as all hell to land, not to mention satisfying. Hotaru's damage is a big talking point. With her target combo and the addition of EX moves and the ability to chain them together with the Rev Excel mechanic, Hotaru can dish out serious pain even when she doesn't have super meter. It's not even really that situational, as much of her routes can be confirmed into off of common pokes and pressure buttons. Also, Rev Excel allows her to combo off her EX throw. She probably didn't need that, but man, feels good. The combination of these new breaks and the new systems aiding her damage makes Hotaru feel more cohesive than ever before. I always got the feeling she was supposed to be an all-rounder character that could handle any situation in Mark of the Wolves given her kit, but that feels more realized in City of the Wolves thanks to her improved offense and damage. What I really love though is that even with the new systems and overall different game feel, it feels like I can play Hotaru a similar way I did in Mark of the Wolves. I observed this when I finally tried Hotaru in the first City of the Wolves open beta, but compared to when I first played the game at EVO, it felt so much more like its predecessor. At the time, I wasn't sure if it was because I was playing my Mark of the Wolves main or if it was just because of how much time had passed between EVO and the first open beta, but looking back, I think it might be both. I can still do 2C into Fireball, I can do silly shit with J2B, I can be silly, but I can also be serious. I absolutely love Hotaru in both of these games, but I think I prefer the City of the Wolves version overall. She's just so much more fun to me, and her kit feels so much more comprehensive. Now, I've seen talks of people saying she's quite strong, maybe top tier, and you know, that may be true. Is she a little overtuned right now? Maybe. Should she be nerfed? No. Hey everyone, this is the part of the video where I thank all my amazing channel members, as per usual. I love you all, and thank you for the support. Kisses. But anyway, sorry that this is a shorter video, but I mostly just wanted to get this out quickly because obviously City of the Wolves just recently came out. The early access started on the 21st, and I did have access to that because I didn't pre-order the game, I got it gifted to me, but yeah, I basically pre-ordered the game. But I've been having a lot of fun with it, been playing it the past week a few hours. It's a very, very fun game. I know obviously some people still have qualms with some of the forms of marketing, but I think gameplay-wise, they definitely nailed it. But anyway, I just mostly wanted to make this video to absolutely just gush about Hotaru because she's one of my favorite fighting game characters. So I'm sorry if this was kind of different from what I normally do in terms of looking at characters, but again, this isn't meant to be an analysis or an overview or anything. This is just me gushing. Anyway, thank you to Old Man Han, Cammy the Killer, Jazba, Mortis, Arg Seals, Wormy, Terry Hints, Perfect Orange, Pet Shop from Fortnite, Happy the Hap Hap, HPHK, Gundog92, Isaac the Collector, Gerald Say, Loop Zoopler, Loose, Kira the Stowaway, Raymond ZX200, Nick Toyo, Sonic Frontiers is a good game, Basewire, and Power Level Asian. Again, thank you all so much for the support. I really have to apologize for how slow things have been this past few months, but hopefully if my computer issues stop being a thing, I can start really cooking. Next month, I have some pretty big videos planned, including one that I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time, so I hope you all look forward to that. I know it's been slow, but I'm working as hard as I can to get this drought, stopped. So thank you for your understanding and your support. It really does mean the world to me. Thank you all. I love you. See you later. Thank you for watching. Have a great night.